Well, ladies, what a great night we got tonight, and you got a copy of what we discussed that we were going to have come out to you. And before I begin on our subject, our topic for tonight, we'd like to explain that, remember, what we're doing now is the holiday season. It's the 9th of November, and I'm sure when you've gone into the stores, the Christmas lights are up, and I even found some people just today that already have their wreaths up on their door, and they're not fall ones, they're Christmas ones. So it's fast approaching, and so we just have to kind of look at it and think, oh boy, we better catch up and get involved. So therefore, we want to talk again about our holiday gift-giving guide. And remember, if you purchase $150 wholesale for every increment that you have, you can get your choice of any one of the gifts in the holiday gift guide for only $5 net. And there's some great gifts in there. So, and they come beautifully packaged. And this would be great as extra gifts to give out at holiday time. But most important, it would be very good to offer it to some of your hostesses as an additional gift to have bookings during this time of the year. I mean, it really gives you some great values for only $5 net. So take advantage of that and get working with it, and call your clients and tell them about it. You know, if you don't call them, how are they going to know? So try to go ahead and call with your clients and see what you can do with it. Now, another thing that's working out especially well is the 2-in-1 Body Fashion special that we extended for the month of November. Did you notice what a great October you all had? It was so good, and everybody was so excited to see the volume and see what was happening, and it just kind of activated everybody to like, wow, I'm going to call my clients. And when you do, it's amazing what takes place. So the 2-in-1 Body Fashion special, that's buy any 2 bras or body fashions at regular wholesale price and purchase the 3rd body fashion item that's listed of the 4 for only $15 net. So take advantage of it. Don't let that slip by, because that's pretty exciting. Now, we got, I think I announced last week. Now, some of you, if you could, be sure you press your *6 for the mute, so we don't get any background noise. It just works out, we found, more effectively that way. Much as I'd love to sit and talk with many of you back and forth, it's not conducive on these conference calls. So that's why we ask you to go on *6. Now, for the conference, 2010 conference, it's interesting, when we talked about it before, we always think, oh, well, that's a long way off. I don't have to worry about that. It's a long way off. But it is fast approaching. My goodness gracious. And 2010 will be here before we know it. And we're going to now have our conference at the Hilton Hotel in Walt Disney World, and it is quite lovely. You'll really enjoy it. Now, we need to know who's coming and who's planning on it. And some of you have said, well, I always come. You know I'm coming. Not really. Unless we see your registration, we really don't know. And some of you are saying, well, gee, at the holiday time, I really don't want to pay out for that registration because, you know, I got money to go here and go over for gifts and the holidays. So here's what we thought might be a good idea for you. If you send in your registration with only $25, you can make payments and then just send in money, and then by the time conference gets here, you'll have it all paid up. That's one way to do it. Now, another thing we'd like to do, if you go ahead and register and pay in full by December 31st, we will give you a beautiful Ceramide Care Visage anti-aging cream, which is absolutely the most wonderful product. It's like putting liquid velvet on your face. It is just so delightful. So, and then all of you who have already registered, because you're probably thinking, well, wait a minute, here, I've already registered. What do I get? You're going to get a Ceramide also. These will all be sent out to our people who register now and who have registered it in since, before when we announced it. You will get the Ceramide in January, so we'll send it out at that time. So please get your registrations in by December 31st at the latest. But again, if you can't afford it, go ahead and just send in your what you want to send and then make payments on it. We'll certainly keep track of it for you. Now, a lot of people have been asking, well, are we going to have a part pay plan? I may not be able to go ahead and qualify, and I don't know if I can do it with personal sales or personal sponsoring. So we have worked out a payment plan. We will be sending that out to you. We'll write it up and send it out to you. We'll put it up on company news so everybody will know what the payment plan will be, so you know that is a possibility. So that's why I say don't hesitate to send in your registration, because there will be, if you don't quite make it, we will have a part pay plan. So I think that's pretty exciting. So we just wanted to share that with you. We will be giving you more information on that. Okay, now, do you recall we sent out questionnaires to you, and some of you are saying, well, somebody said something about it, but I didn't fill mine out. Well, the ones who did fill it out, that they're going to receive a beautiful face care set of their choice absolutely free, because all they had to do was get it in by October 30th, and they would qualify. Now, it doesn't qualify now, but it did qualify as of October 30th. It really is so interesting to read these answers. And so tonight, Corey and I are going to kind of go through and encapsulate what the responses were. And then I think you're going to find it interesting. And I think you're going to see, as we go along, you're going to see, wait a minute here, this isn't as difficult as I thought it was. Because you're going to see how people have talked to people, have found people, have answered people with their concerns very, very readily. So let us start off first. With the first question, how did you meet this person, and when, and where did you meet him? Now, some people say, well, gee, I don't know. Nobody seems to want to come in the business. Well, maybe you didn't get out and see the people. That's kind of something that you have to look at. Now, one of the answers was a vitamin shop. Wow, never thought of that. We didn't think of a vitamin shop, but I guess they've tried to figure out, well, what about, what do you do? Three of them that we got back in, and we just took a general consensus. We didn't because we got so many. We didn't go ahead and get every one. We're just taking some from this area. Church was a biggie. Oh, a lot of people met people in church. Just start talking to it. You have these churches who create like a community now, and that is just wonderful. How about a networking meeting for women? That was another one. Another one at a restaurant. At a home show, on a train. Now, what does that tell you? Sometimes you get on the train, you think, well, just read. But it was on a train. And all you have to do is start talking to people. People want to talk. And when you go ahead and then you get involved, they're going to say, well, what do you do? And then you get into it. Another one somebody found her on the Internet. Another one, she has a little office, and they came in for a fitting. Another one she worked custom bras as a teenager and wanted them again, and she tracked her down via the phone. Longtime customer was another one. She started talking to her about the business, and she was a customer since 2003. Interesting. Then another lady met her at a fitness center, and they were having an open house with displays, and so they started talking to the ladies there about that. Well, what do you do? Well, what do you do? And they got involved. A friend from a former job. How many times do we forget the people that we used to work with, whereby, those were friends that we worked with at one time, and they might be a good source of information. This one met a lady at the Newcomer Friends for a welcome coffee. Another urgent care office, the library, a referral that we had given her for in that area where she lived. Call from a coworker, and she was impressed about the bra and asked to see it, and she was amazed, absolutely amazed at it. At a show, at a house, so there was actually just a party at a house. At her niece's bra party, I met her at her cousin's party. You get some of these returns here, and we just thought, oh my gosh, it's amazing how many different ways there are.